Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Chinese word with the ma sound. When you just started to learn Chinese, you will definitely learn pinyin. And when you just started to learn pinyin, you know tones are very important. One of the most classic example is ma, 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 ma. With the similar pronunciation, there could be completely different meaning. So, in today's video, we're gonna dive into those Hanzi and we are going to go through them one by one and explain it and learn it in detail. Now let's get your 填字格 ready and the pens ready so you can practice with me. If you want to practice with more instructions, you can download the practice sheet from my Patreon, Mandarin. It shows you the store order and all the word combination I use in this video. I'll drop the link down below in the description box. If you are interested in that, you can check it out. Now let's get to the very first ma sound in Chinese, and it is one of the most important words in every language. We have a female radical on the left. Ma is mother. So let's take a look at this left side. This is the female radical. As we already mentioned about it in the female radical video, the female radical is quite important in the Hanzi system, so feel free to check it out my female radical video later, maybe after this video. Okay, and the right parts. This is ma. Actually, the ma, it means horse. This is the meaning. But in here, the ma, you see, is served as a sound radical here. So since this video is all about the ma sound, so you will see a lot of ma, this part, serve as the sound radical in this video. And ma is one of the example. You see, we have a female radical, it brings the meaning to it, and a ma, it gives the sound to it, right? And we will see a lot more example with the ma serving a sound radical later, okay? But you need to be careful when you say mama. Ma. Exactly same Hanzi, but usually the second Hanzi it comes with the neutral tone, which has no tone marks on the top. The neutral tone just makes the words easier to pronounce. Instead of saying mama twice, you say mama. Mama, it's easier. Let's continue to the next Hanzi. Ma, and this ma means to wipe. You can see on the left side of the ma, this is a hand radical. So the hand radical is related to some hand action, like wipe. We can say ma桌子. Okay. Ma is to wipe. 桌子 table. 抹桌子 wipe the table. And we can also say 抹布 which means wipe cloth. So 抹布 is the wiping cloth. And just to let you know, actually the ma can have a second pronunciation, which is mo. And the mo can also mean to wipe out, but you use different pronunciation for different words. As for the mo, you can say, this is very, very popular word, mo cha. And mo cha is for mocha. Next character come with the second tone, ma. As for this ma, it could mean so many different things. First of all, it could mean numb. And then it could mean sesame. And then it could also mean linen. Yeah, the linen fabrics. And it could also mean trouble. Okay, I'll give you some word for example. So the first one, ma, meaning numb. Ma. La. The ma meaning numb. The la meaning spicy. So ma la is numbing spicy. It's the classic flavor in the Sichuan food system. Sichuan cuisine is one of the most popular cuisine in the Chinese food system, and it's famous for its ma la flavor. And the next word, this one is interesting. Ma. Zui. The ma means numb. As for the zui, this one's interesting. You see the left part of it. Actually, I don't know if you can recognize it, but I want to write it out. Yeah, this is 酒. Remember, 酒 is alcohol. You can see the left part of the 醉 is in the right part of the 酒, and this part resemble to a wine pot, a Chinese traditional wine pot. Okay, so it's related to the wine and alcohol, and 醉 it means drunk. Okay, numb and drunk, that would be anesthesia. Yeah, right? That makes so much sense, right? Anesthesia is like the doctor put you in the numbing, drunk state, and you won't know anything. Okay, so that's it for the ma, meaning numb. And let's get to the second meaning, meaning sesame. Zhi. Ma. Okay, you can see on top of the zhi, this is a grass radical. And the grass radical is related to plants. And 芝麻 is just sesame. Move on to the next meaning. Ma meaning linen. Actually, by itself, it could just mean linen. And I'll give you the word. For example, we can say linen cloth. Ma. Bu. Ma bu. Ma itself, it means linen. Bu is the cloth. Move on to the last meaning, meaning trouble. Trouble. Ma. 烦. Okay. Ma means trouble. Fan means annoy. So, 麻烦, it just means annoying, troublesome, etc. And if you notice, here we have a fire radical on the left side of the fan. Because when you are annoyed, it feels like there's a fire burning in your brain. Okay, so now let's get to our next character. Let's talk about the ma with the third tone. See? Ma, we just mentioned about it right here. Yeah, right here. The ma means horse. Very straightforward. The ma, just horse. Here's something very important I want you to know is that ma, this character, it could serve as a sound radical. It gives the ma sound to the word. Just like ma, this one, it gives the ma to the ma. And we will have more example later. Okay? And the ma could also be a meaning radical. So it gives the meaning as, so it's related to horse. And since in the ancient time, people ride horse as a vehicle, right? So it could also relate to drive or vehicle. Here is a list of the common Hanzi with the ma. So you can see on the left side, these are the Hanzi with ma, serving as a sound radical. And on the right part, these are the Hanzi with the ma, serving as a meaning radical. If you're interested in learning all these Hanzi with the horse radical, you can download the practice sheet from my Patreon. I showed you all the words come with the ma. Moving on to the next character with the ma sound. We have a stone radical and a ma serving as a sound radical right here. And this is ma, which means mark, a mark or a sign, and also it could mean a number. Here is the word, for example. You can say how. Ma. How ma itself, it just means number. For example, phone number. 手机 手机 is mobile phone. 手机号码 mobile phone number. Next word, me. Ma. Here we have the me as a secret. Ma is the number. So obviously it's a secret number, so it would be the password. And moving on to the next. Dai. Ma. The dai, it could means to replace and also to represent. The ma is the number or a signed or a mark. So it's something, it's a sign to represent something. That would be the code. So 代码 code. Moving on to the next one. 尺 码 The 尺 means ruler. 码 is a number. So you read the number on the ruler so you would know your size. Yeah. So clothes size, 衣服尺码, shoe size, 鞋子尺码, etc. The last word I would like to introduce to you is 二 为 码 Okay. 二 is 2. 为 is dimension. 码 is a mark or a sign. So it's a two-dimensional stuff, and that would make a QR code. 二维码 QR code. Very good. Let's continue to the next one. Insect radical and a 码. It also pronounced as 码, and you can see on the left side we have a insect radical. So it's related to the insects, and the 码 means ant. To say the ant, we can say 蚂蚁 蚂蚁 ant. Oh, and here's a little trick about the tone. I believe a lot of you have already noted, but I just want to remind you. When you have two third-toned words together, like 尺马 ma, yi, when they are together, it's kind of difficult to pronounce them, right? Because you have to kind of stop. Ma, yi. Ugh, that's complicated. The trick is that when you pronounce two words, the first third tone will become second tone, just to make it easier to pronounce. It would be 蚂蚁, right? And the 尺, it would be 尺码, Yeah, that's the trick of the tones. Okay, so let's continue. And I also want to remind you is that this 码, it could also pronounce as the fourth tone, 嘛. Okay, when it pronounced as 嘛, I will give you a word here. 骂 Maja. It's another insect. It would make the grasshopper. Yeah, I know it's exactly the same 汉字, but it just pronounced it a little different. When it's the 马, it's 蚂蚁. When it's 骂, it's 蚂蚱. Let's continue to the next 马. Now we have 马 with the stone radical. Ooh, this is the stone radical. And we have a 马 with the insect radical. And now we need a 马 with the king and jade radical. So this one This could be the jade, could be the king, or the jade radical. So it sounds like something fancy, elegant, right? I'll give you a word. We can have ma, now, and ma now is the agate. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. Since the ma have the king and jade radical, so it sounds like something really beautiful, elegant, fancy. So we also like to use this ma in names, especially for female name. Like some English female name with the MA letter in the name, like 玛丽、玛莎、玛格丽特. Okay, so how about the male's name? What if we have a MA in the male's name? So in that case, we would like to use the other 马, this one. For example, 马克、马修、马丁. Okay, let's continue. The next word is less beautiful, less elegant. Now we have two mouth radical on the top and the ma again. And it's ma. Ma is to scold. Yeah. For example, we can say 骂人. 骂人 is to scold people. Here's one extra 汉字 I really want to introduce to you. It also have two mouth radical on the top. That's 咒. 咒 is to curse. Yeah. And you can also say 咒骂. To curse, to scold. Yeah, it's not good. It's just to curse. Actually, I think this is a very interesting word to look at. You see the mouth radical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4个, 4 mouth radical on top of the 汉字. It feels like you are arguing, you are just arrogant, you just talk too much. It's just too loud. Okay, now let's get to our neutral tone, m. We have a mouth radical on the left. And here we go again, the ma. And this is the m with the neutral tone, no tone marks. Okay? The ma is the yes or no question mark. When you see the ma in the sentence, you know this is a yes or no questions. For example, 你要喝咖啡吗？你去吗？你喜欢吗？好吗？ etc. And now I have another word I would like to introduce to you, which is this one. This is also ma, also neutral tone, and also we like to put it at the end of the sentence, exactly like the ma, but it's different meaning. It just make the sentence softer. It just makes you sound more friendly. I'll give you some example. 我们去看看嘛。这个事情嘛，我想想。So you need to be careful. Both ma and ma, they all pronounce as ma with the neutral tone, and they all put at the end of the sentence. But they could mean different things. The left one is yes or no questions. It's a questions you have to answer. And the second one is the particle to make the sentence sounds more softer and friendly. So do not mix them up. Even though for native speaker like us, sometimes some of us we will mix them up because we can understand the context and sometimes we may typo, but I would strongly recommend you to distinguish them because they mean different things, and I would strongly recommend you to use them properly. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it and you learn more about the Chinese word with the ma sound. So don't get confused again after watching this video, I hope. Anyway, so that's it for today's video. If you want the practice sheet, you can download it from my Patreon, Mandarin, so you can see the stroke order, the word combination, and everything. So you can use that practice sheet to practice along with my video or as homework. Yeah. So that's it for today. I'm Mandy. I hope to see you in my next video.